Hi everyone, and welcome to our latest video. In this video we wanted to basically introduce you to the Balboa BP and TP Topside range, and to celebrate that we've got Jed from Balboa, our long-standing friends who we've been working with for 20-something years. Hello Jed.
Thank you, John. Always good to come and visit you down in sunny Cornwall.
Yeah, thank you very much. So today, Jed, what we wanted to do is we've actually got a new catalogue available, or a brochure, celebrating the Balboa BP and TP Topside range. And what makes this catalogue unique is the fact that it explains what each of the SpaPacks do, and also the different configs, and also which config can be replaced by a different pack. Okay. Which is a really kind of useful tool for the engineers out on the road, or the customers just choosing to understand what they need. So what we thought we'd do to kind of celebrate that is spend a bit of time with yourself and go through the range and maybe do a quick Q&A on a few things and find out what makes them unique, what makes them better than the other one, what's the right choice, what features,
Okay.
So upon your advice, we're going to start off with the Topside range.
Okay.
In this range, obviously, you can see we've got them spread out here. We've got a TP200, and correct me if I'm wrong, we've got a 200 series, a 500 series, a 600 series, 700 series, and then we move on to the SpaTouches.
SpaTouches, yeah.
Starting at the beginning, the nice little compact TP200. What makes the TP200 a good sort of topside?
The 200 is a great, like you say, compact panel. It's a simple panel. So if you're looking at creating a spa that doesn't need so much functionality, such a big config, then the TP200 is a great panel to start off with.
Okay. And there's a couple of little topsides in this range, isn't there? There's a T and a W prefix. What does that actually mean? Okay,
so the W stands for one pump, and the T stands for two pump. Right. Okay. So you'll see the difference if you have a TP200 W, you'll only have one pump button. If you have a T, you'll have two pump buttons.
And I think the one we've got here today is a one pump, so that would be a W.
Because what you'll see is you have two buttons for your temperature. When you go to the second pump, you lose that temperature button.
Right. Okay. So that's quite useful, and that's a nice small topside. So great if paired with a sort of
small pack.
Yeah. Moving on up the range, then we go to a 500. I think this model is a TP540, and I know this is a relatively good topside. What makes that one particularly useful?
So it's a newer button panel, and what we've done is we've added in a menu button. So basically mean that the end user can scroll through the settings menu a little bit easier, and be able to change the settings, filtration settings, etc. A little bit easier.
So accessing the menu, or the hamburger button as we sometimes know it.
So if you see a panel and it's got a menu with the three lines, you know it's a 500 range.
And that's a very useful way of getting to those features without having the complicated button presses. Okay. I think there's a 500 and a 540 and a 500S in that range. Then obviously we move on to the TP600 Series. Got to be careful because the 500S is the same shape. So TP600, which doesn't feature the menu button, but what makes this a good panel?
Okay, so like you said, the 600 does look very similar to the TP500S. The 600 is basically a very versatile panel. So it means that you can operate a number of different configs, because the button layout will change depending on the configuration of the hot tub.
Right.
So i.e. going from a one pump or a two pump or even a three pump system, with a TP600, you can have three pumps and a blower on there, as well as a light button and a temperature button.
It's also exactly the same size and shape as the very popular VL600. So if you are upgrading your SpaPack from one of the older systems, this is a great choice for that SpaPack, because it fits identical to the existing cutout in the spa.
And if you're doing like a retrofit scenario, then from a technician point of view, they know if they've got a TP600 that they will be able to go to a tub that has many different configurations, and that panel will fit or do what it needs them to do.
A great one for the van. Moving on then, we now move up to the TP700 series, and you'll notice this is quite a big panel with a different look.
Yeah, yeah, it's very different.
Yeah. So go on, Jed. What makes this one?
So the TP700 basically sits between your normal button panel and your SpaTouch. Here in the middle, you have actually a SpaTouch Mini screen, and it gives you the user interface of a SpaTouch Mini.
Right.
Okay, and then you use your D-pad over here, your directional buttons, to be able to scroll through the menus.
Right.
So on a SpaTouch, you obviously can touch and go through the menu. On this, you just use your D-pad to get there. Then you've also got the benefit of having your pump button, so you can turn.
So a really great crossover panel. So if you want the features of a touchscreen but don't want the actual touchscreen, this is a really kind of nice.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah,
of both. Yeah. And we've increased the 700 range, and we brought in the TP740s, which are the same shape and size as our SpaTouches, as well as the same cutout. So again, very easy to
swap between the two. Yeah, sorry, we didn't get one out for all.
Well, we can't get all the panels.
Yeah, we can't fit them
out. It wouldn't fit on the table.
Okay, so we've moved on from the traditional sort of button panels. And then obviously we're going to move on to. I'll just grab this and bring it over here, save you stretching. We've got the two SpaTouches, and the ones we've got out today is a SpaTouch Mini and a SpaTouch 3. Obviously, you can see the difference. The Mini is nice and small and compact. Unique features of the Mini?
So the Mini, the uniqueness of it is the shape and the size. It's a beautiful little panel, in my opinion.
One at home. That's fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a great. And you've got all the functionality of a touchscreen. You've got the ease of use. But the good thing about a little Mini, in my opinion, on what I've seen in the market, and handy enough being next to the auxiliary panels, people are using this as a secondary panel within the other side of the hot tub, to then be able to not have to leave your seat to be able to operate the tub.
Right. So a very universal panel that can be configured for different applications.
It can be the main panel, and if you've got like a very nice design and you're looking at the aesthetics of your tub, then this will can suit that application very well. But if you've got a big tub and you want to put a lot more functionality in there, a lot more features for a customer, then using this as like a secondary panel on a lounge or on another seat across the tub is a very good option. Yeah,
okay. And then obviously we move from the SpaTouch Mini, which I really like because of the size, up to the SpaTouch 3. Just a bigger version, really, is it?
Yes, it is a bigger, it's a 5-inch screen. But the thing we're doing with our SpaTouches is we're really trying to work on them, really trying to develop them and take them to the next level. Obviously, as you know, we now have a range of SpaTouches. We've got the Mini, but then we've got the range of the SpaTouch 2s. We've got the 3 and the 3 Plus, and now we have the 4 and the 4 Plus. And we're learning, we're developing, and everything that we do, we learn, we can now re-engineer and work backwards. So the SpaTouch 3 that we brought out has been developed. It's got better, and we're continuously pushing, continuously making the panel better.
I think one of the key features of having the kind of SpaTouch and Mini and the things is actually the ability for you to control the sort of setups and the configs in the SpaPacks. It allows a much easier deep dive into the configuration, especially if you're an engineer, rather than having to use one of the sort of conventional Topsides.
To be honest, it's something, if any technician talks to me about changing configurations, I ask if they've got a SpaTouch. And I recommend that every technician should take a SpaTouch with them, because like we said, navigating the menus on the buttons, it's doable, but it will take a lot longer on the buttons, where if you've got a SpaTouch and you're able to plug that straight in, it will take you a matter of seconds to get in, change your config. And from a technician point of view, looking at the fault log, you can get straight into the fault log. You not only do you see the code of the fault, but you also see what the fault is and what it actually means.
So it gives them a lot more information to go on. I suppose really good if they're helping the customer over the phone.
And it can be seen as like a diagnostic tool in a way. Something that they come in, they're plugging into the tub, and they're being able to review what's happened with the tub and give it a good service.
So a really good piece of kit to have on the van as an engineer. Even if the customer's got a different Topside, you can come along, plug this in, and dive into the SpaPack and help diagnose problems, change configs, and just generally see the health
Yeah, there's. I'm not sure if everybody knows that you can run any TP panel or any SpaTouch panel on any BP pack, packs, but you can also run a multiple of panels. I don't want to be quoted on it, but I think it's around 16 panels could be run on one pack at a time. So it does show you just plug
really
in.
useful.
Plug it in,
especially because a lot of Spa packs have the spare thing to go and plug it into.
You don't even have to open the pack up. You just go and plug your tool in, and you're away.
Fantastic. So obviously we talked about the main panels. Just very quickly, we can look at the auxiliary panels. They come in a 1-button, a 2-button, I mean there is a 4-button version as well, isn't there? And they can work with any of the Spa packs apart from
your BP200.
Right, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, that kind of leads us quite nicely now, doesn't it, onto the actual Spa pack range. We've only got a few out here to show you because they're all the same. They look identical. Yeah, we fill the table up. But quickly running through the range, we're going to start with the small compact BP200. Obviously, this has got quite a few different setups. We can have the control box with the heater preset, like this one here. It's also available as control box only with a remote heater.
It says,
all available in this catalogue, by the way. So please do have a look. What's the BP200? What kind of makes that a good pack? Why is that such a useful one to start with?
Well, I think you've touched on it already. It's obviously very small compared to the other two. So if you have got size constraints, and it's very handy with that way, especially if you look at having a remote heater. So again, you might be able to fit the box in and put your heater elsewhere. So it just gives a little bit of freedom with tubs that are smaller.
Anything we should know it can't do?
It can't do all. I never like talking negatives. But we haven't got the climate zone software on the BP200 yet. I will say yet and leave it there. You can't run, like we said, auxiliary panels from the BP200 either.
So something to watch out for if you're looking to spec a pack and want to further upgrade in the future or things like that. So no auxiliary panels, and climate zone software is not supported as yet. Okay.
But everything else, lights, Bluetooth, ozonator or UV, can go, and CMS.
Right, okay. And this one's got, just going to check my notes here, this one has got 7 different setups.
Yes, so again, when you're looking in regards to configuration, what makes this unique compared to the other packs is this is the only pack that can run circulation only.
Something we found out quite recently.
Very recently you had a customer that just needed circulation only. This is the pack for that.
And just touching on that, what we found out was we paired this with the SpaTouch Mini, and the beauty, again, something we haven't actually mentioned really, is when you actually pair it, a Spa pack with a SpaTouch, depending on the config you program the Spa pack to, it then displays the correct buttons.
Yes, exactly.
So in this customer's case, where he wanted a circ only, the SpaTouch Mini in that setup only showed the circ button. You couldn't do that with one of the more conventional Topsides. So that was really quite a useful feature.
It's also a good way for technicians to check what configuration they're set up in straight away. If they plug it in and they go into their pump menu, they will see exactly how many pumps they're supposed to be running from that configuration. So if, for instance, you get a phone call and pump 2 isn't working, if you plug your Topside in, you go to your pump menu and you can only see 1 pump, you know you're in the wrong configuration. If you do see 2 pumps, you know you're in the right configuration, but for some reason that pump 2 is not working.
So that was the BP200. Moving on now, this is where it gets a bit tricky. We have the BP601 range, and now that 6013 range, and that actually contains 3 different Spa packs: the 601 3G1, 3G2 and 3G3.
That's right.
Would you say they're the sort of backbone of the BP?
I think they're the most common, especially if you're looking from a range point of view, because they cover so many different configurations across the 3 packs. But the majority of tubs out there, the ones that you most commonly see, will all be covered within that range.
Just again, checking my notes, the BP601 3G1 is a 2-pump system. The 3G2 is a 3-pump system it can handle 2 2-speed pumps. That's actually quite the unique thing about the 3G2, 12 configs, and then in the last one, the BP600 3G3, that can actually handle 3 pumps and a blower. Yeah. So really good little range.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I said,
most of it. Yeah,
it will cover the majority of the configurations out there. Obviously, when you're going through packs, the configurations are the things that stand them out. So that's why it's important to know what configuration you need, and then look to see what pack will fit that. And there will be a number of packs that will probably fit.
And that's where our little brochure comes in really handy, because it literally spells out all of those different configs for the different range, and it allows you to compare which pack you need or what other pack would do it that might be more suitable.
Sounds good.
Moving on then, we go into the BP2100 range.
Just before we move on, what I'd like to point out, we've moved on from the 200. You can run auxiliary panels from this. You can have the climate zone software on this.
Well done, yeah, of course you can, yes.
So it can do everything.
Yeah. Very useful. Thank you,
definitely,
yeah. So moving on to the BP2100 range, which can run the climate zone.
Definitely.
Auxiliary panels.
Definitely.
This particular one is what you would call the daddy of the range, isn't it, really?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and this can handle 2-speed pump setups. And I think in the main one, this is a G0, they've got a G1. The G0 can handle 1 2-speed with 14 different configs. And the BP2100 G1, which is this one, can handle 3 2-speed pump setups.
Yes.
Yeah, which is quite a lot of 2-speed pumps.
Yes, exactly. Again, it kind of expands the range with regards to configurations. And that's what will stand out is the different relays, the 2-speed relays. Like you said, it can handle 3 2-speed pumps on there. The 2100 also has a clock memory. Yeah. Oh. So if you've set your time on your tub, you switch the tub off, when you come to switch it back on, it will remember the time.
Wow, very useful. And I believe there's another one we found out quite recently about, which is in the 2100 range, which is now in stock, which has got an unusual name, hasn't it?
It's slightly, yes. Yeah. It's a bit coded. So it's a BP21 P4 BC. Right, okay. And it stands for pumps for blower and circ. Right. So you can run a circulation pump with 4 pumps plus a blower. Yeah. So when you're looking at your swim spas and your big tubs that you've got a lot of pumps on there, it can handle a lot.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Very useful pack.
Yes.
Okay. And then lastly, really, to kind of draw a close to everything, we're going to mention now is the BP8 pack, which is a kind of our all-round pack, which is kind of unique to us and also allows you to have what I call a van pack. It kind of covers most applications. So if there's going to be one spa pack you want to have available to you, maybe in stock in your van, which is why I call that, the BP8 is the kind of go-to, which kind of covers the core range and features and configs of these spa packs.
Yeah, it's we call it kind of like a aftermarket pack. So obviously technicians having one of those on their van, it's like a get out of jail free card. They know that they can go to a tub, and if they need to swap a pack over, they've got one in the van that will more than likely have the right configuration on there. There are a few to mention with regards to when you look in further along to multiple 2-speed pumps that you'll be looking at
you have
something
to kind
else.
Of go to the BP21. Yes.
But again, we're always pushing, we're always developing. So very soon that BP8 will start to develop and cover more configurations. At the moment, I think it's got about 18 configurations.
18, which is the most out of all the spa packs.
Obviously, we're looking to increase that and move that into the 20s.
Okay, so that's a really useful pack, and that's going to be even more useful when they bring out the extra config options to do the 2-speed pumps, and it is a great one to have on the van.
Cool.
I think that pretty much covers everything. I don't think we've forgotten anything here, Jed, have we?
No, I think it's very useful. Obviously, if you have any questions or anything, you know, you can always come and ask me, but I'm sure you get lots more coming through your channels. All these are available on the website. Every single one's got the download, and our new brochure will also be available to download on the website soon, which will cover all of the different settings and configs and hopefully be a really useful tool for everyone in the future. Thanks everyone for watching. Jed, thank you for coming and seeing us today. And it's been great as always. Thank you very much. And you. Take care. Why did I say take care? Take care. Take care, John, take care.